Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I am busy working, trying to get some of these ribbon tubing. It's called poly tubing, I believe is what it's called. Yeah, poly tubing. That's exactly what it's called. Getting it cut into strips so that we can make candy lays. Super exciting. So glad you're here. Stick around if you want to see how we make those beautiful candy lays. Alright, so to make the lays, you can come up, honey, you can be in the video. You need this tubing. Well, at least to me it's easier to do it with these. And so it's a lot of work to get everything ready, but it's not a lot of work to make them. So you gotta have your tubing however long you want your lay to be. I do it about 4 feet so that it kind of hangs, you know, down. If it was for a toddler, you know, you do it a little shorter. Anyway, so to cut the tubing, you got to get off this ginormous roll. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ah! So it's easier for me just to have one that I use like a pattern, and I just connect them together like so. So they're the same length, and then I just kind of run it down. Voila. And then come to the end where it is and cut it. And it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, so if it's off like a little teeny bit, it's okay. And then got to unwind more. I like to do 2 at a time and then roll them together. I'll show you. Once I get the second one done, it's tedious is what it is. It's not like it's super hard, but it's just tedious and it's time consuming because you can't make it till you get them all cut. I mean, I guess if you were just doing one. I do sell just kits. So it's the tubing already cut with the color ribbon you like. So if you only needed one, you could order a kit. Our kits are $3. And plus the shipping to mail it. And then I just hold them up like so. And then I just kind of wrap them around my finger because then it keeps them from getting wrinkled while I keep doing more. And then I just have this little circle, put it in here, and I continue on until I get, you know, several hundred of them cut so I can start making the lays. That's the next step. Hello everyone and welcome back. It's been a few days, got so many things going on with dance and school and remember that candy I showed you in my stock up haul? Well, this is some of it that I purchased and some we've had in jars for this purpose. So right now I'm going to show you how we make our candy lays. Now, Cody usually helps me make them, but she's currently at school and I want to get this video out there so you can see how we do it. I keep my candy in jars to keep them fresh. We start with a piece of this poly tubing. I kind of showed you a minute ago how I cut that. Hopefully I still have that little clip I recorded. But so I cut about 4 feet long so that by the time it's made, it can hang just below, you know, on the person's chest, about to their belly button, I guess, like a little bit longer than a tie. This is one I previously made. This one is a little bit smaller because it's for a preschooler and they wanted the colors pink and purple. It's really, really easy, so let's do it. So I pre-cut ribbon pieces. So on this one I'm going to be using blue and green. So I do this just watching TV. I basically just cut the ribbon, you know, about, I would say 6 inches long, just enough to tie it. I mean, you could do it longer if you wanted. So I'm going to set those aside because you need to know what color ribbon you want to tie it with, but you also need to get your candy in here. I like to have my candy set up and how I'm going to do it, which is the candy that you see back there. That's the order I'm going to be putting the candies in. Just makes it easier for me. And I start a little bit further than halfway, so I'm going to start with the sucker. I put it in here, and then I just kind of let it feed down through the tubing and get it about a little over halfway. And you can obviously move these around once you get everything in before you tie it. Then I'm going to put in a crybaby because It's sour gum, and you know, school, you don't want to be a crybaby. A sucker that's fun to put in here is Dum Dums, you know. Sometimes I do Jolly Ranchers. This time I'm doing these, what are these? Tootsie Roll Fruit Chews. So we'll put a couple of those in there. And then Smarties. You got to have the Smarties candy because everybody that goes to school is a big Smartie, right? And you don't want to be a nerd, so got to have those in there. I try to choose candies that are non-chocolate for various reasons. One, they don't melt. Two, less allergies because there's not dairy. All these candies here are gluten-free and dairy-free. So then I do an Airhead, a Laffy Taffy, and at this end is a bottle cap. All right, so we get all those in there. Let's come over to this side and we'll start tying. It's not super complicated. So I just set out a couple of different color ribbons here so we can kind of go. I go faster if I'm not explaining it, but all right. So I put the ribbon under it. I leave about 1.5 inches at the end, and I'm going to tie it. Pull it really tight. Like this one is the most important one to be the tightest because you don't want anything to come out the end. Then I push the candy all the way up to that end, and I make the next tie as close to that candy as I possibly can. Tie it. And then continue alternating your ribbon colors. Now, if you want, you could tie both blue and green together. But your fingers are going to get really tired after you tie about 100 of these, depending on how many you're making. You know, I've made hundreds and hundreds of them. Help my daughter raise money to pay for her dance and things like that. So we've made lots and lots. And so between your fingers pulling and all in here, it gets really sore. So I wouldn't recommend tying 2 colors in the same place. But you could do it however you want. You could do 3 colors. If your school has 3 colors, you could alternate, 3 different colors all the way down. But yeah, so you just continue on down the line, tying them, and then I'll show you how to finish it off here when I get to the end. Cody got given one of these in school on her birthday from a teacher, and ever since then it's just been like, oh my gosh, we should do this. We should do this for a party. One party, she had a Hawaiian-themed birthday party, and so everybody got, instead of a goodie bag, they got a candy lei. All right, so now we're down to the sucker. I'll go ahead and tie that one, and then I'll show you how I do the rest of this here. As soon as I get this tied, hopefully it doesn't seem like it's taking longer because I'm having to explain myself. All right, so then we're going to finish doing the end, adding the rest of the candy. So I have another thing of nerds. Go ahead and put that in. And just slide it down. And then we have a starburst, because, you know, we're all stars, right? And a Laffy Taffy. And the last one is a sweet tart, because we're all sweethearts, right? Aren't all of our kids a sweetheart? All right, so then we're just going to continue tying the rest of these, and then I'll show you how to tie it off when I'm finished. All right, so once you've got all the candies tied and you're down to your end, you'll lay that flat piece down, and the one you've tied on top of that, close to the candy as possible. Your colored ribbon underneath it, and it was blue, so we ended with green. How convenient. And then we'll tie this one here to secure the two and make the lei. I like to tie it behind the knot to keep it from slipping off, but then for extra measure, you can tie these two as well, the opposite 2 ribbons, and that will help it not come undone. So that is your candy lei. You could give it to your student, graduate, or whatever, just like this, or your person at the recital. But I like to curl these. I think it just looks cuter. So I just like to give them a little curl on the ribbon. You can also make this shorter. People have made it using saran wrap or cellophane. I just find that the tubing makes it easier and faster just to, to slide the candy in. And the best part of that is that you could actually eat a piece of the candy and you don't have to break your lei. You could just tear a little hole in the piece where you want the candy, pull it out, eat the candy, and you still got the rest of your necklace intact. It's not like it's broken or anything like that. Now, if you have a college graduate or a high school graduate or even a dancer that you would like to add money, but this is the time where you would add money and you could make little flowers and tie it on here. If you want to know how to make those flowers, leave a comment and I will be happy to make a little video and show you how we make those flowers. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed my video of how to make candy leis. And then when your person graduates, you put it over their head and you tell them congratulations. And if you've added money, there'll be money all over it. Beautiful. Alright guys, take care. Till next time, stay sweet, make a candy lei.